at how behaved you are. Had I only known 5 years ago. Huh, all right. So we will officially call this meeting to order. It is the study session of August 13th, 2025. City Clerk, let me have a roll call, please.
Here.
Councilmember Carnevale,
Here.
Councilmember Lamb, Councilmember Gutierrez,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gregory,
Here.
Mayor Ross.
Yes, I'm here, thank you.
Let's let the record show Councilmember Lamb is absent. Do we have a motion to approve her absence?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Carnevale and a second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Roll call. Councilmember Carnevale,
No, voting.
Yes or
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you, so
Yes,
say again?
yes or no?
Yes.
Councilmember Gutierrez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gregory, Mayor Ross.
Yes.
Motion carries all ayes.
Thank you so much. Are there any changes to the study session agenda?
I have no changes, Mayor.
Thank you so much. So, City Clerk, will you please read the statement of participation?
I'd be happy to, Mayor. Public comment is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on items that are within the City Council's jurisdiction but not on the agenda. Because of restrictions contained in California law, the City Council may not discuss or act on any item not on the agenda, but may briefly respond to statements made or ask a question for clarification. The mayor may also request a brief response from staff to questions raised during public comment or request that a matter be agendized for a future meeting. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. If you are a member of the public and you wish to address the City Council, please complete a request to speak form available at the entrance and submit it to the City Clerk. You will be called upon at the appropriate time. If you have materials or other items to present to the members of the City Council, please do not approach them. All materials shall be presented to the City Clerk for distribution. And Mayor, we do have one request to speak. The speaker is Robert McCormick.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCormick.
Ross. I'm just here to confirm that, in fact, City Clerk received my 2-page and 10-page letters that I recently submitted to the City Clerk. However, in the 10-page letter that I submitted, the clerk tried to tell me that she was doing me a favor by doing government business. And there was a gentleman that confirmed or stated that he was a veteran. And I will state right here, government business is never done on a promise, a handshake, a smile, or a favor. Government business is done per the Constitution. This veteran trashed the Constitution, and I don't know what oath he upheld when he said that he was going to defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. But he trashed the Constitution by saying he was doing me a favor. At any rate, the 2-page and the 10-page letter have been submitted. I am here just to confirm that it was me and making it more validated than it is otherwise. Thank you.
And can I confirm that you have received those?
Yes, Mayor. I did email it to you, and I have the hard copy as well.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Mr. McCormick. Have a good afternoon.
Are there any other members of the public that wish to comment on items not on the agenda? I see no others, Mayor.
Thank you so much. So our first study session item today is from Desert Recreation District, introducing a presentation and an update on our initial progress. I believe that's going to be Mr. Sayre, isn't it?
It is, but John Corella is going to
He's
give
gonna-
you a little introduction and introduce them. So
He's the opening act.
I'll
I
turn it over
gotcha.
to John.
Thanks, John.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, fellow council members, as our city manager stated, I'm going to give you an introduction for this, just so the audience knows why we're having this here. So a little background, we have an agreement with Desert Recreation District that's effective July 1st, where they took over the park maintenance and the recreational programming at our 5 major key parks. Partnership was made possible by Measure W. Thank you, voters out there. That passed with 74% approval. And with that, Cathedral City residents can access DRD programs either in the city here or across valley-wide. So with that stated, We have basically a 2.5-month progress report that we're going to be presenting. DRD is. We've had some initial getting to know challenges, things that we've corrected along the way. So they're going to present to you how they're coming along with both programs and the maintenance. Cynthia Marquecho is here from their community services supervisor who makes her office in the city library. Scott Sear, their legislative affairs representative, will be here to speak. And then as needed, Robert Hoppy, their public works superintendent in charge of maintenance, will be here available for questions. With that, I'll bring up Cynthia and Scott. It's a tag team.
It is.
And the lectern is yours.
Has Mr. Hoppy been naughty? Is that why he doesn't get to come up with you?
He's here for support.
Support.
How do we go to the next? Let me go back there. All right, good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and members of City Council. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to come out and to be able to present today. My name is Cynthia Marquecho, and I serve as your Community Services Supervisor for the Cathedral City area with Desert Recreation Services. I'm joined today by Scott, and we're excited to share the incredible progress that we've made and where we're headed as Cathedral City officially becomes a part of the Desert Recreation District family. So what we focused on was Stronger Together, because when community, staff, and partners work as one, amazing things can happen. So first, I just want to take a moment to officially welcome Cathedral City to the Desert Recreation District, and we call it DRD for short. For those who may be new to us, DRD is the largest park and recreation district in California, serving over 432,000 residents across over 1,800 square miles of the Coachella Valley. Our mission is simple but powerful. It's to enhance the quality of life for all residents by creating, maintaining, and preserving recreation space for programs that are community focused. We are driven by our vision of community where everyone has access to inclusive, innovative, and high-quality recreation opportunities. And our values support teamwork, respect, integrity, and excellence guide every decision that we make. So here's a closer look at who we are. Our values aren't just words on pages, they are a promise to the community. Support means empowering people to thrive. Teamwork means collaborating and building trust. Respect means making sure that everyone feels welcomed and valued. Integrity means that we are transparent and accountable. Value means that we make the most of our resources to create impact. And excellence means that we're always innovating for better results. These principles are the foundation for every program, every partnership, and every park that we touch. So where are we now? On July 1st, 2025, DRD had this huge milestone and became the official service provider for park maintenance and recreation programming within the Cathedral City area. And in that short time, we've laid down some strong operational foundations. We've secured the office space at the library. We've set up all of the IT access that we need to be functional. We've onboarded staff to provide programs as well as park attendants. We've streamlined the reservation system, and we've implemented a vandalism reporting process. And most importantly, we're out in the parks every day ensuring that our spaces and restrooms are clean, safe, and ready for the community to enjoy. Looking ahead, we're focused on building connections, expanding opportunities, and bringing fresh energy into Cathedral City's recreation scene. We've launched a digital recruitment campaign to attract talented instructors and are exploring unique shared opportunities, which we're really excited to bring up today. Is we're working with the Mary Pickford Theater to share that space and be able to utilize the second floor for activities for the community, as well as we're partnering with the library, the senior center, and the school district. This fall, we're rolling out engaging programs for all youth, for all ages, youth favorites like pop-ups in the park, teen glow night, and a skate jam. We're also including senior activities like coffee and cards, breakfast bingo, and we're also making sure to provide programs for adults such as art in the park and a parents' night out. We'll also be adding outdoor adventures, which will include rock climbing, bike clubs, and other family favorites like movies in the park and potentially a food truck fest. We're also bringing in some fitness programs for fitness lovers, such as Zumba and stroller walks in the park. In addition, Cathedral City residents now have access to all the great programs that are also hosted at our Thousand Palms Community Center. So that's ensuring even more opportunities for connection, recreation, and community pride. This is all in part of setting the stage for long-term growth so that our programs not only start off strong, but continue to thrive for years to come. And for community engagement, that is at the heart of everything we do. This summer, we kicked off our partnership with the Splash Bash on July 18th, where we saw over 200 residents come out and enjoy fun water day with our fire department and a bunch of community partners that came out to support. So that was really great to see the community come sit together so quickly. And that's just the beginning. We're committed to providing ongoing outreach to keep residents involved and informed, from being featured into our local media, having presence at community gatherings, and then every interaction is an opportunity to listen, connect, and build partnerships to make our programs grow even stronger. And so with that, I'll hand it over to my colleague Scott.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. It's a pleasure to be here. Right now, we want to make sure that everyone has access to these programs, and that's why not only does Desert Recreation District strive to do what we do, but we also have our Desert Recreation Foundation. That means we're going to ensure everyone in your community has access to these programs that we put on. Every resident has the same value, every resident has the same options, and we are firm believers of being inclusive and making sure everything is provided to everyone. And so we have the Desert Recreation Foundation here ready to serve your residents of Cathedral City and the entire Coachella Valley. Right now, we'll dip into programs and responsibilities. Right now, we've been doing a lot. We've been monitoring and assessing. Park attendants will open and inspect, conduct regular walkthroughs of the designated parks and open spaces. This is to ensure compliance with park rules and regulations. The visitor assistance, this is also going to roll into the community response. The attendants provide general information to park visitors and escalate them to or educate them about the park ordinances. Our team strives to build positive relationships with those park users and not just be there to clean, to pick up trash, but actually be a friendly face and a welcoming invite on behalf of the city and Desert Recreation District. Maintenance support, our team has started cleaning, stocking restrooms, and making sure that they are safe and ready for users. We'll keep them clean for all visitors. We'll be ready to prepare rental spaces, report maintenance needs, vandalism, and other issues to appropriate city departments for prompt resolution and making sure that there's no gaps in our line of communication. The parks we're going to be servicing are Esperanza Park, Panorama, Ocotillo, Century Park, Dennis Keat Soccer Park, and at Patriot Park, we're going to be doing the trash cans and the barbecue pits. So I want to make sure everyone's ready for those barbecue parties. So now on this one we're going to be talking about rapid response and park improvements. Our team really has taken a proactive response with every Cathedral City park we steward. Spotting issues before they escalate is key for us. For example, at Panorama Park, when residents informed us about damaged turf at the dog park, we immediately went out and took the initiative to get the rolls, replace this damaged area of grass within 48 hours. And then the next day, it's, the quick turnaround, we got really positive response from the community. And I think the main thing we're learning there is the community actually loved that they were heard and saw instant response without trying to go through a process or step. Within 48 hours, we had this, corrected, and our team took the initiative. And that's what we do, because it reflects on DRD and the city to make sure that these parks are ready 24/7. We're also monitoring for graffiti. Our attendants document and report. Our goal is to work with City Police Department, ensure that we're doing this correctively, in line with the graffiti reporting policy through whether it's graffiti abatement or your police force. Of course, right here, hydration is essential in the desert. So all drinking fountains Well, they're going to be really inspected. They're going to make sure they're working. We're top notch. They're sanitized, repaired. Corroded parts were already cleaned, restored, and making sure that they're working properly. Not only the bottle refill stations, but the ones for the dogs too. We got to make sure that those are ready for the pups as well. Restrooms received a deep scrub, lifting mineral stains, power washing floors, and restoring fixtures. Playground safety, that is non-negotiable when it comes to playground safety. We inspect and tighten hardware, deep clean structures, and address any potential hazard, ensuring that these structures are ready for the community use. That is a big one for us. Going on the next slide. And here's some pictures we're going to get in, and we're going to have some fun with these ones. You know, basically, we'll start with Panorama Park, but it all generates from 75 years of park and recreation experience. Our team has developed with a practical know-how to basically address every single problem that, you know, we've come to see so far. Decades of hand-on work has refined our ability to diagnose wear early, repair structures and amenities correctly for the first time, and deliver professional land care, deep clean playgrounds and equipment, keep them to the highest safety standards. Right here at Panorama Park, you'll see, first thing we do is we look at all the stuff that our eyes are trained to look at. One is, you know, the grease on the handles. Our team goes there with a power washer, with Brillo pads, with brushes, with soap, and we're making sure that we're going to leave these parks immaculate to our best of our ability. You could see right here with the water stations, we're making sure that the dispensers are working properly, that they're flowing, and also that the last thing you want to do is fill up your water and it looked pretty beat up. Well, we're going to address that. And as you can see, we don't miss out on sometimes our favorite members of the community, the furry ones. And my wife, sometimes the favorite member of the household. We make sure that the water bowls for them are actively, you know, clean and ready for them as well. And we'll go to the next slide. This is Dennis Key Soccer Park right here on the first two slides. We noticed that there was water damage and there was leaking water. And right now we want to be environmental stewards and really make sure that we're addressing everything in the park. This was on a corner structure. We fix the water leak. We make sure we rake it. We clean up the water. We're not going to leave puddles there, and we want to compact it. And also we're documenting it. So, okay, what are we doing there next? Are we replanting plants? Is it going to be something, or we just need to tap off that fixture? So everything is documented. As you can see, the restrooms have been cleaned. The the hand washing stations have been descaled, really trying to get them back to where they almost look brand new. And that also comes to the walls, the floors. Right here on the picture of the facility with the green roof, right there we're also noticing that we have some signs that are, you know, pretty sun damaged, and we want to document that, whether we address and fix those right now, or, you know, we want to make sure, okay, if we're going to replace them, do they need to be updated to meet any new ordinances? What is the process before we just, you know, waste some money, replace it, and then realize, hey, you know what, there's some stuff we need to post on it. So that's kind of the initiatives we're taking. And the last photo on the right is going to be, that's the in between the restrooms of the men's and women's restrooms of facilities. We go in there and make sure, okay, is anything leaking? Is there damage in here? Is there stuff? Because if we could find these problems before they happen, then we're going to save the city a lot of money. We're going to save us a lot of time. And, you know, our mainest thing is make sure these restrooms are available when we say they are, and we don't have to shut down anything, inconveniencing our residents. And that's what's key on this one. Next one is Ocotillo Park. As you can see, we take pride in cleaning stuff, and you'll see our team, they get really happy, maybe more happy than they should when they pull off stuff like this, the before and after. We're getting these photos from our team and from Hoppy over there because they're proud, and that's the way it should be, is because they're really excited on how they're able to, you know, clean these fountains, clean these restrooms. And as you can see, we have the trash cans, and once again, taking off the scale on these water fountains. We actually go in there with a pick and make sure that there's really calcium buildup that builds up in those. We got to take those out so actually they flow better, they work, and they last longer. And next thing you know, we got a almost perfect working water feature. And we'll go to the next slide, which is Century Park. Here's a close-up of our picnic tables. We're not only scrubbing them, we're actually deep scrubbing them, cleaner, making sure the top side and the bottom side are completely clean and ready for the users. Our slides right here, the slides are aligned, the slides are cleaned. We're making sure that there's no damage, and as we go down it, I've seen a lot of our park attendants use these slides to make sure that there's nothing that's gonna, grab on kids' clothing or making that, a cut, or they're properly safe. We monitor the lawn too. We know that water is an issue here in the valley, so we're going to monitor lawn use as well. So make sure, okay, are we doing it? Does this section need more water? Does it need less water? Are we using the right fittings on the sprinkler heads? So as we progress, we're going to see what parks need different maintenance, because every park needs to be treated differently. Like every city needs to be treated differently, every park needs to be treated differently for their amenities, their shade structures, how much sun they get. To the right, you'll see we want to make sure that anything that has a certification on it is properly displayed and replaced when needed. And of course, the graffiti. We're going to document this and make sure we're in line with your city's police department and make sure we're doing everything and we're not just walking in there and, being proactive enough to where we want to clean it. Well, that may not be the best thing because some of this stuff has to be documented for your records and your police. And the last thing we want to do is be a hindrance or impede on any other operations. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to kind of open it up to questions, something we're very excited about and partnering with you guys. So we are here for the drilling.
Oh, I don't think it'll be a drilling. This sounds pretty nice. So, who wants to go first? Mark's nodding his head. He'd like to go
Got a couple
first.
questions.
Sure.
I don't know if I should be happy or sad. What a great job you're doing, or a lousy job we did, but it's a little embarrassing there. But you mentioned ongoing outreach. Could you explain how your outreach? What are you doing to get out to the community?
Yeah, totally. That's an ongoing between Cynthia and myself. We have a great relationship with news outlets, and that's one thing we do very well. And so the outreach on my end will be making sure that we're doing, whether it's features on KESQ, we just did one at Esperanza Park, and we're doing that on that side, social media. And Cynthia is going to be doing stuff also with social media and other partners in the valley.
Yeah, and I also just wanted to mention, anytime there's any type of community activity where we can come out and host an information booth to provide the community with more resources or information, we'll definitely be there. So we want to just make sure that we show our presence here within the city so that residents know that they can come to us for their recreation and park needs.
And every event you guys have, we work with Ryan. Ryan's been absolutely amazing, and Ann, to make sure that you're going to have a Desert Rec information booth at every one of your events, because we want to show our partnership, and we're very proud of it.
Okay. So when you do your marketing, is it generic what DR does for the whole valley, or will you single out Cathedral City as its own item?
No, yeah, the one thing we don't do is and you'll hear me say this all the time, we do not do cookie cutter. We do not operate the same, facilities. When we program, and that's why we got Cynthia, when we program Cathedral City, you do not program it like Palm Desert, like North Shore, like Thermal. Even though we have these, each center deserves its own programming, because if we just cookie cutter everything, and this goes with the social media, with the news features, if we cookie cut everything, then we lost. Then there's absolutely no benefit. But when we bring in someone, Cynthia, that actually has, that knows the community, that's invested in the community, and she handpicks a team for the community, there's nothing cookie cutter about it. And so from social media posts, we'll be 100% true to the city. And a lot of stuff was we work hand in hand with your amazing marketing team, Ryan and his guys, on making sure that we align, and also that they're I want to say co-authors, or on the social posts as well.
Okay. My last question, Deanna Presgrove pretty much handled all this prior. Does she have a role with DRD, or do you work with her? What is she going to continue to do?
Yeah, she absolutely is a huge part of our team effort, and
Okay.
we communicate very well on a regular basis. I know that her and Robert Hoppy are in regular communication when it comes to any type of park maintenance that comes up, especially with like the graffiti reporting. So we keep in the loop with her on a regular basis to make sure that we're communicating the information that she needs, and then vice versa.
Okay.
And that's when you also get our whole team. It's like when Cynthia did her park feature that you had our staff from Thermal, from Thousand Palms, and every time we do something big, we're there to assist. You have all of us as well
Okay.
too.
Then I think my last question is going to be, I got to really mention this. We've had a resident in the Desert Keating area, and the lights just happened to go right on his property. I don't know if he's talked to you guys yet, but for some reason they would just come on in the middle of the night. Sometimes they come on the weekend and just go all weekend, and it's annoying to him when there's no one playing, plus it's expensive. Now, is there a hotline he could call if these lights come on in the middle of the night or there's nobody there participating? I know you got a curfew for him, but what would he do in case of, because I like to report to him, in case this happens?
So the good thing about having our park attendants that go from park to park is that they're monitoring the space, but they'll be available, their numbers will be posted within the park areas, so that if the park lights are on at any given time where there's no one actually at the park, they can shut off the lights. So they can call that phone
So they can do
number.
that remotely?
Yes,
They don't have to
yeah,
come down there?
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, welcome to Cathedral City.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, first question is, were you guys involved in the back-to-school backpack giveaway program here in the amphitheater?
Yes, we were. We were able to host a small craft activity for kids to come over after they were done receiving their giveaways, and we provided information and resources to the community as well.
Well, you guys did an excellent job. I was there, and the kids were having so much fun. At one moment, there was too many kids up in the slide. They couldn't all go down, but you guys did a great job. I was there, and the weather was perfect, and it was just incredible for the residents to see. And my first question is, you said that you're reaching out to community partners like the Mary Pickford Theater and other theaters. Did you reach out to the Salvation Army? They also have space available that they can actually probably let you use.
That is a great suggestion. We haven't gotten there quite yet, but absolutely someone that we are, an agency that we are looking towards partnering with and potentially working with in the near future. So we are working towards creating that partnership.
Oh, great. Yeah, because they're just amazing as well.
And I think that's where, and I thank you for mentioning that, because we're looking for that. It's as we mention this stuff, if anyone mentions anything, we're like, yeah, we need to reach out to them. We're looking for any avenue from the Palm Springs Unified School District to, of course, Mary Pickford, and now Salvation Army, anyone we're ready for.
Yes, and when it comes to events, especially since a lot of residents do not have any knowledge that the DRD is actually part of us now, reaching out is very important. One of the partners that is always willing to help is the principal for Agua Caliente Elementary School. You can always pass out flyers during school. You can talk to parents there. Eric, I can't remember his last name. Eric is his first name. Great guy, and he's easy to contact, and he's
Awesome.
easy to work with as well.
Thank you.
And like Councilmember Carnamelli mentioned, you do have a number, and it's great that you have, is it a sign that you have posted throughout the parks, maybe 2-3 signs posted throughout the parks that in case of an issue or a problem to contact such a person?
Right, so actually Deanna is working with us to create that signage. I believe it's already something that's in the process, and that signage will go up, and it'll be several signs throughout the park areas.
Yeah. Another thing that I was thinking about is, since you have so much going on, residents a lot of times don't have the knowledge of what's going on because you have a program at different parks at different times, different days, different months. Now, since you're working on that signage, is there any way possible you can create a QR code that will direct them, when they take a picture of it, they can take it directly to the DRD program, and that will tell them what's going on throughout Palm Springs and even throughout the Coachella Valley. So it will be simple, just take a picture and
That is absolutely a great suggestion. I know we are working on some signage just to introduce ourselves to the community and the residents. So adding that QR code would be an ideal thing to add so that people can go directly to our website and find all the activities that we're hosting. So thank you for that.
And last question is, now I noticed that in your programming, that the upcoming programming throughout the different parks, you have arts and other programs. and you have yoga, and you have, for instance, yoga, you have $50 sessions. That is for the entire program, correct?
Yeah, so it'll be for the entire month. It'll be all classes included in that month.
And I also noticed that, for instance, ice cream and arts,
Yeah.
there's a fee for a $12 fee, and some of them, different fees, and a lot of them, it says that it's also free.
Yes.
How do you base that, the dollar amount that you charge per program or activity?
It's really dependent on the fee schedule that we have for the Desert Recreation District, and based on the supplies that are needed to be able to host the program, that's what we ultimately determine to be able to price any specific program.
And of course, you probably want to just break even, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So depending on how you do in each program, you'll be adjusting the fees probably?
Yeah, so if we see that a program is not taking off or it's not working, we'll either adjust the program to make it something more appealing to the residents or to the youth that we're reaching out to, or we'll adjust the fee that will make it more appealing for people to sign up.
Now, our Cathedral City residents, like I said, they're learning about the DRD. I believe that I heard in the past that Thousand Palms residents can access their community center and actually rent the community center for certain events. Can Cathedral City residents do the same thing now?
That's a great question, absolutely. So now that Cathedral City has joined DRD, they have access to every facility that's within within the valley, really. So they're able to rent any of the facilities that we own within Coachella Valley.
And what is the fee to rent, for instance, the Thousand Palms, if you have it?
There is a fee structure. And then everyone could find it online by calling one of the centers. But usually, for example, like our Polypool Family Aquatic Center, it's around, for 3-hour rental, you're looking at about, $350 for 3-hour rentals of the pool. For Palm Desert, you're looking at around the same thing. It's about, right under $400 if you want to do a 3-hour quinceañera. That includes tables, chairs.
That includes that?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's what we do is for us, we're not here to make a profit. We just want to make sure we're covering our O&M and providing a service to the community. So when people find out what the rate is, how much it's going to cost to rent our pool or rent one of our community centers, our gorgeous, newly renovated Palm Desert Community Center, they're looking at other areas in the valley that are, thousands of dollars to rent for 3-4 hours. Well, you're going to probably $500, we got you covered.
Wow.
And it's staffed, ready, set up, tables, chairs. It's really, when I found out, I was like, oh, where have I been all my life? I would have been renting the pool all the time.
Well, I'm happy to have you guys in our city, and I hope our residents get to know more about what you guys have to offer. And so far, you guys are hitting it out of the ball field, I can say.
Thank you so much, Councilmember.
Thank you so much. Mayor Pro Tem.
So we had our last regular council meeting on July 9th, and I know I had expressed that we needed to meet you, but also I was a little surprised because it was July 9th, and I had visited Panorama Park earlier that day, and apparently it hadn't gotten in the rotation yet, so it was dirty, and there was trash. And so that has completely changed, so thank you so much for addressing that in all the parks. And getting up to speed on all of those. So, that's the park in my district, so I frequent that one most often. And although it's summer and it's been vacation time for me, I still get around there and speak to people. And I've gotten very good feedback. In fact, I think I shared that I met Robert today. But I have his phone number for the last few weeks in my phone, and I've shared it. And that's one of the biggest differences, besides some of the changes and improvements and some of the details as far as maintenance and upkeep, is that people are telling me the staff comes and says hello and, how are you and how can we improve? And so, and not trying to dog our past staff, but, they would just come and do their assigned task, and they didn't really engage on a regular basis with people. So I know that has been very much appreciated. And the fact that they Robert's a good example that people say, if you see something, call me, and they address it. They answer and they address it is really very much appreciated by people. I appreciate it because under the old system, they would wait till they saw me, and then they would, that park in particular, and then they would tell me, and then I would call Deanna or John, and they would, of course, get it handled. But now with the ability just to give them this phone number, we stop playing the telephone game, and they're able to get it in really quickly. So let me ask Cynthia and Robert, and even Scott. You can tell us too. So we just met you. So can you just tell us? You don't need to tell us your home address, but can you tell us a little bit about your history and experience with the district and the industry?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I have a background in recreation for over 15 years. I received my bachelor's and my master's degree within recreation. The last few years I was working for JCSD out in Eastvale area, which was a water district but had a community services component. I oversaw the after-school program component of the community services. Prior to that, I've worked with the City of Rolling Hills Estates, City of Menifee, as well as the town of Colma, which is up in the Bay Area. So lots of recreation background and lots of programming. I really enjoy working with the community. It's truly a passion of mine, and I'm excited to really see what we can do with Cathedral City coming up
That's
very
amazing.
soon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
thank you for the opportunity.
And Robert, can you come up and say hi to us and let us know how long
You were going to get called out at one
you've been with the
point.
district? I'm not going to let you get away.
Right?
Sitting back there.
I'm a fixer, not a talker.
That's okay. This is easy. Talk about yourself.
Do I have to say anything special?
But you are special.
So how long have you been with
Anyway,
Desert Recreation District?
I've been with the Desert Recreation District coming up on 15 years. I started as a custodian at 47 and spent that for 5 years. And really, I clean parks. So I know how to clean parks. That's my specialty. So I'm very detail oriented. I've been a basketball coach for 25 years. Moved to the Valley from up north. I'm a machinist, have a machinist degree. Play a lot of pickleball.
Well, very, very lucky to have you both. And Scott, since you might as well join in. I know, I hear you might have a radio background, but
Some sort of radio, yes. I've been in radio since 1999 out here. Started in the media, opened up a group of radio stations in the Coachella Valley for Morris Desert Media at the time. Worked with someone close to you for a very long time. It was a pleasure. But my passion was communication. My passion was always calling me to serve the community. And after that, I was a board member for Valley Sanitary District, past president of the East Valley Reclamation Authority. I sit on the CARPD Legislative Committee. And then also I am one of the members of the advisory committee for the Coachella Valley Adult School. And then moving forward is my passion in community relationship building and just really building those relationships on a local, state, and federal level.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Way more, all of you, way more experience than I knew or thought, and many more things that you're involved in. So I think it makes me and hopefully anyone listening feel much better about the team that we have and the dedication, the experience that you bring.
And we're huge on communication with your the constituents, with your residents. And when it comes down to it, it's not Desert Rec did a good job. It's not Cathedral City did a good job. It's we all came together. The park looks good. It's amazing. And it's one of those things that this was a combined effort from a lot of people, the city, Desert Recreation District, and mainly the community members that supported this, because without them, we wouldn't be here in front of you today and really proving what we could do. Is a lot of times we are old school to where, a handshake is stronger than a contract, and if we look you in the eye and say we're going to do something, that's what we're going to do. And right now, it's our time to shine and show you and the residents that this was a good choice with Measure W.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And so switching gears just a little bit, as you have your events coming on, your calendar going on, your planning going on, and you're meeting the community, I know you do the periodic booklet. We've been getting them in the mail for a while, so that's great for those that hold and retain those. And so I anticipate when the next one comes, it'll have the next quarter. Do you do it quarterly or the next quarter laid out? But I know sometimes like these events you've been in or had lately, they were a little bit more short notice, and I know Ryan put them out and you put them out in your electronic media, but if somebody wants to get those on a regular basis, is there a newsletter they can sign up for, or a Facebook page they can like, or a combination of things where they can maybe just start to see things?
Yeah, we have that all available on myrecreationdistrict.com. Our new activity guide, which features Cathedral City full-blown in there, is going to come out next month. And we'll definitely work with your staff. We'll drop some off. There's digital, there's our Facebook page, so everything's on our website. And then you can also sign up to have these delivered directly to your house and have everything in there, so you know when the programs are. This one will go all the way until the end of the year, so you'll see a lot of really fun, whether it's Halloween or Thanksgiving or the holidays, the festivals, and just a really broad view of what's going on throughout the whole Coachella Valley.
And the city's planned holiday festivals will be intertwined in that?
Yes, we work with your, and I'll let Cynthia talk about this more, but we work directly with Ryan to make sure that we're in line with all the features.
Yeah, so they've been really great about communicating all the upcoming events and how we can help support. And so whatever it is that they feel that we are a good component for, that's what we're going to do. So Adam's been really great about communicating with us on things that are upcoming. And so we're really excited to be a part of like the future events.
Good, and they'll be included in that quarterly also as?
Will it be included in the?
Yeah.
It will be included in the recreation guide, correct?
Okay.
Yes. And all of our outlets, and so we'll make sure to promote the events as well.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you. So I just want to, again, welcome you to Cathedral City also, along with my peers, and, share how excited that we are to have you here with us. And I know we'll be working the long term, and then before long, you're working with us, and we're going to have our own community center, and then that's a whole nother thing. Many more updates to come on that.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. We just have 2 remaining questions. Actually, Councilmember Gutierrez will bring it home. I have the second to the last question. Okay. So you're a bunch of slackers. Is that what we're trying to get out of all of this?
100%.
Hearing everything you say.
100%.
Yeah. I thought I was hearing that right. I just wasn't sure. No, thank you so much for all you do. And Councilmember Gutierrez, who can bring us home, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. My last question is, Cathedral City was the first leg of the CV Link. Can you tell us what you're going to be doing for the CV Link?
Yeah, well, it's funny you should mention that, because the CV Link is we're going to be operating and maintaining the 40 miles of the CV Link, and that's a partnership with Coachella Valley Association of Governments. We had long conversations on how we're going to do this, how we're going to partner with each city and cover those 40 miles. So not only, it works hand in hand when we're, let's say, Esperanza Park. There's an amazing connection to the CV Link there. Our team could, stop off at the park, stop off at, the CV Link, making sure everything is cohesive. So you're going to see a lot of patrol and our vehicles driving on the CV Link and doing the same thing we do with the parks. And if there's any kind of issues at the parks or at the CV Link on the stops, we're going to report them to whether it's Cathedral City or Indio or Coachella. We have an amazing partnership, bless you. And one thing we did recently is we are shooting a district video for our staff and new board members and some of the elected that we have really great relationships with. We send this video out to them, and the start of it is actually at Esperanza Park, and we shoot it, welcome, we talk about our partnership with Cathedral City, and we shoot right there on the CV Link. So right now, with having those connections, and we know, one, how important the CV Link is to the community, we really need to show why DRD is amazing at what we do. We're not a jack of all trades, we're a master of one, and that is parks and recreation. And we're going to make sure that the CV Link is perfect, that the CV Link is ready for visitors, just like we're making sure that the CV Link is ready for your residents at your park. We actually are filming with KESQ. They're going to do a ride along this Friday at 6:30 in the morning with us. We're going to stop, and they're going to do a big feature on the CV Link and the partnership. And our goal right now is to highlight it as this amazing asset to the district. Because, one thing that I like to say is, how do we take a park, how do we take something like the CV Link or a community center to what it is, to an asset. Because if we make this into an asset, that's something that the community needs, that they rely on, that that is more than just some place to go. And if we could get all our centers and all our locations to become assets to the community, then that's something that is really true to them. And then the community themselves is going to start taking care of it. The community is going to take responsibility of it because they need that ownership. And once that asset comes involved, then our work is even that much easier because now we all share something we really passionately love.
And I can't wait to attend your wine and art painting event.
Yes, me too. I'll be there.
We all will. We all will. Thank all three of you very much.
Can I interject?
Oh, please,
just real
Robert.
quick? Just to collaborate with what he's talking about. So my job as the maintenance side, we just took over the CB Link on Monday. So right now, we're out pressure washing, assessing all the garbage cans, drinking fountains, homeless. Oh, sorry. So we're assessing the properties now, all the access points. So we started in North Palm Springs and working our way down. So we've already covered about 8 access points. So we're noticing a lot of graffiti, a lot of homeless, a lot of things we got to fix. So what we'll be doing per week is blowing the whole the driveway, doing all that, stopping at each point and taking care of the maintenance side, emptying trash, fixing all the drinking fountains, things like that. So just to, so any questions
This all
on
just
that?
sounds really great. We're
Yeah.
so glad that you are an asset with us. And if there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. Take care. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak on this item?
Mayor, I did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. I see none, Mayor.
Thank you so much. And this was for, bye, you guys. Take care. And this was for presentation only. No formal action is required. Item number B is a presentation on the Axon Body 4 body-worn camera, the BWC. And this is presented. Mr. City Manager, do we have a staff report, please?
We do. Commander Enos is going to present this item. He's in the unenviable position of having to follow the recreation people, which is always so.
Yeah, not as exciting.
It's not
I'm
as
sorry.
sexy for sure.
I think this last time I was here, I didn't have anything exciting either. So maybe it's just a kind of a pattern.
Go
that I
ahead,
get.
Commander.
Well, good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, Pro Tem and council members. I'll be giving you a presentation regarding the Axon body-worn camera. It's our look to transition from what we have now, but moving to a different system. And as you see as we go through, it's kind of a whole ecosystem of the reason why it's not just the body-worn camera, but there's a couple other components that are involved in it as well. So as you know, in 2016, the police department initiated a body-worn camera program to better serve the needs of the community and department. At that time, there were plenty of incidents nationwide that were getting a lot of attention, and body-worn cameras were one of the key components of law enforcement, and so that's what we did. We created a body-worn camera policy to emphasize accountability, transparency, and officer safety, and the program increased transparency while also capturing vital evidence used in the prosecution of cases investigated. So when we initially rolled it out, all our patrol officers, supervisors, detectives were equipped with the cameras. And currently, all patrol officers, detectives, community service officers, and our citizens on patrol have a camera, which effectively anybody contacted is captured on camera. So this is the first camera that we rolled out. It is the GoPro Hero Session. This is an action camera. It's not really geared for law enforcement, but at the time, the cost was extreme. And so the chief decided that this was probably the best option that we can go to use. And it was small, it was compact, it was good for putting onto the uniform, not taking up a lot of space, good clarity during the day, not so much at nighttime, and the battery life was not that great, as you get about 2 hours straight recording time, and you'd have to plug it back in to record throughout a 12-hour shift. The current camera that we use is the Intrinsic X2 version camera. They're more robust, it provides good clarity, and provides a much longer battery life. So the body-worn cameras have been successful in capturing critical events, evidence of crimes. They've reduced citizen complaints, and they've also assisted with risk management. provided an opportunity for supervision to assist with training and observation, documentation with officers as incidents have been reviewed. And now our transition to why we want to transition to Axon. So currently, almost all of our patrol cars have an in-car camera made by Motorola WatchGuard. They are no longer manufacturing that system anymore, which would require us to go to a whole other system. So currently we have Intrinsic as our body-worn camera, we have WatchGuard, and then we potentially would have a third in-car camera system, second in-car camera system for 3 different video systems that are capturing the field work that our officers are doing. District Attorney's Office has also met with all the county agencies regarding the use of Axon's evidence.com server, which is their digital platform, which you can upload evidence through. And they're using that system for agencies to submit all their cases through the cloud, and it reduces the time in submitting cases. So we went over to Indio. Currently, our clerks process a case about 25 minutes, a paper, and that's average. It could plus or minus a few minutes here and there. When they visited Indio, it was 7 minutes through the digital platform. So this will definitely reduce paper usage as the files will be uploaded electronically. And then also Axon footage from the body-worn camera and in-car camera are synced together. So as the Axon camera inside the car is activated, it automatically turns on your body-worn camera without having any user input. So this is what the Axon camera looks like, the current version, very similar kind of to what we have now, but it basically fits the same profile as officers are using now. Not a much larger footprint.
So while you're on the photo, is it activated? Is that a big button on the front that activates it?
Correct. So some of the features, these are just a few of the camera itself. It has a 160-degree field of view, which is a little bit wider than the camera we have now. It has 4 directional microphones, has a 13-plus hour battery life with a faster charging time. It's got wireless upload capability, and docking to the cloud or docking to a station is not required for it to upload, which is currently what we do. So currently, we have to dock the camera on the station to have it uploaded into the cloud. So we have a video recall capability of up to 18 hours, meaning if there's something not captured, we can go back and pull up the video and create a manual recording. So we can configure automatic activation based upon several configurable triggers, which would be a call type, a gunshot, which has gunshot detection, which will automatically turn the camera on, or like a geofence, if it goes into a certain area, it can turn on automatically. It also has active GPS-based.
John, can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
What do you do about sensitive situations?
I'm sorry?
Sensitive situations where you may not want video to be rolling, or you may not want it to be something that comes into your camera. You know, a child who's just been abused, or something along those lines, and your camera automatically comes on. Do you have a way then of either scanning that out or turning it off?
Yes.
Or going to audio only, something like that?
Yes, there is audio only. However, we have redaction capability that is much more robust than the current method that we have now. A little archaic, the Intrinsic, while I'm not here to disparage them by any means, it's definitely not very user-friendly. And Axon has been in the police business for a long time, and their features are much favorable for us to be able to redact and remove things, mute audio, blur faces, take stuff out if necessary.
Thanks. And I'm not looking at redacting for sure, but just
Sure.
sometimes you just need to act with a little more sensitivity than other times.
And it's more user-friendly in that sense, too. And it's also got active-based GPS or GPS-based location, so we can watch live on a screen to where officers are at. And these are just some of the features that are available that we will have. But what Axon does with this camera is there's far more features too. There's the Watch Me Live feature that an officer can push a button on the camera and it'll send an alert and ask whoever would be a supervisor or dispatcher to please pull up a live feed. You can live feed watch it. Mm-hmm. We could pull it up, so if there's an active incident going on, we'd be able to look into that.
Excuse me, Commander. You said that it's a capability that somebody at the station can be watching what the officer is doing out there.
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
Wow. Very nice.
Thank you.
So the Axon body-worn camera system is better integrated with our CAD for auto-tagging of case numbers and events. It streamlines the review and editing process for submission for the District Attorney's Office. As I said earlier, that we went over to the Indio Police Department, who currently uses Axon Body-worn 4, and they also have the same CAD RMS system, and they demonstrated how efficient it was compared to what we are currently using. So after reviewing their implementation, they observed a significant improvement in workflow and data accuracy compared to our current system. So this is just a screenshot. I didn't want to inundate the presentation with a bunch of videos, so I went through. This is what you would typically see if you docked your camera. You'd see all your incidents. You can go back through and you can review them. You can submit them from there, and it shows you how many you have. This would be where you can upload the evidence. You can add another case number. You can add a title to it and submit that and start creating a case. And then also this is where you would create, you could add photos, you can add a police report. This is where the case would completely come together with all your camera footage from in-car camera, your body-worn camera footage. If you had photos, your reports would all be compiled here for submission. It's all in one place. So currently, as we operate now, if an officer was to respond to emergency call in their vehicle, and they activated their emergency lights, you would have three different systems, or two different systems to log into. You'd log into WatchGuard to watch the in-car camera system, and then you'd log into Intrinsic to look at the body-worn camera system. And then there's the archaic paper system when it comes to submission for the District Attorney's Office. So the Axon method, if an officer responded to an emergency call, the activation of the emergency lights would activate both the in-car camera system and the body-worn camera system simultaneously. The review of that video could be handled by one login, and they come up simultaneously. So you look at both the body-worn camera and the in-car camera side by side. And then the case would be digitally uploaded into evidence.com, and then the corresponding videos, with the corresponding video, and then it also reduces the paper and forwarded to the District Attorney's Office for case review. So that is the purpose of the transition. It wasn't all necessarily just because of the body-worn camera system. There's a few other factors that were involved that got us to where we are today. So we will currently, or will still maintain intrinsic cameras up until Axon would be implemented. We obviously have cases that are still currently going, and we would need to maintain that video. But as we would move forward with intrinsic, these retention periods would drop off, and then we would not need to use intrinsic in the future. So this existing cloud storage will be reduced as Axon cameras are used and footage is purged based upon retention schedules. And with that, I will open up to any questions you may have.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, how many body-worn cameras will you be purchasing or are thinking about purchasing, and also vehicle cameras?
So there'll be 60 body-worn cameras that'll be purchased with this contract with the Axon. The car cameras will be just as cars come in. So as cars come in, we will start using the Axon in-car camera system. So they'll be purchased as the cars are purchased. So they're not going to be purchased up front and sitting on the side. It's just as they come, they'll go. So our current cars will still maintain that system, but as the new cars come in, we will purge the old systems out. We'll start using the new stuff.
Okay, so you will not be immediately purchasing camera systems until new vehicles come into...
For the in-car camera systems, correct.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And what is the length of time that these videos and pictures will be saved for under the current system and the new system that you're thinking about?
So the current system has a retention schedule based upon the type of video that is captured. So there is some cases, significant events, officer-involved shootings, for an example, is indefinite. That footage will never go away. Axon has unlimited storage. That is, so however much video we have and photos and cases we have, it's unlimited. There is no cap to that. We currently pay for the primary cost for intrinsic is for storage only. So that obviously we set our retention schedules in order to reduce the amount of footage we have to retain to keep the cost appropriate.
Now, will the city be getting a better deal when you buy the body-worn cameras and the vehicle cameras? And
There's
also in the amount?
Not for this, not for this. So the vehicles, camera systems and this are separate.
Oh.
So this just specifically, this package and this deal is specifically for the body worn cameras. As we're getting all, and everybody's going to have a camera issued to them, a body worn camera, we don't get, 15, 20 cars every single year. We're, and the technology changes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So my question was along the same lines. You started your presentation by saying that Motorola is not going to be making the WatchGuard or selling the WatchGuard anymore, but then you're buying the body-worn cameras, and we're not seeing, well, what's the replacement car camera going to be? So is there going to be another presentation at some point when you start buying those that's going to talk about
the
them?
staff report indicated that the Axon Fleet 3 would be moving forward as our in-car camera system. As we move forward and we replace cars, that system will be purchased as we did the WatchGuard systems.
Can we obtain information about that, just so we're familiar with that system? I'm surprised it's not included here. There wasn't at least a couple slides that said this is, by the way, when we buy cars, this is the Axon 3, and this is what it looks like, and this is what it does.
Sure, we can present information regarding the in-car camera system.
Either that or send it by email through the city manager, something like that.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
because if we're just going to automatically be buying them, not
Sure.
that we're going to say no.
Sure, of course.
But
Understood.
that, you're going to great lengths to explain the body-worn camera system with this, and making mention of things like, well, once we go to the Axon 3 in the cars, when it comes on, the officer assigned, I assume it's going to be assigned to that car somehow, it's going to know that they're body-worn camera and it's going to come on too,
Correct.
that kind of thing. So maybe a little, we don't have that information in front of us, so I don't know how much I want to ask you a bunch of questions about that, but maybe that could either be a separate presentation
Sure.
or provided in another
Absolutely,
way
I can get you that information, sir,
kind
absolutely.
of wrap our heads around that a little bit better.
Sure.
Too, so, other than that, I think even without that, what I hear you saying is you really need to go, you want to go to these body-worn cameras, the new one, because of the affiliation with evidence.com, and then how the district attorney is then accepting the evidence through, or accepting what they need through that evidence.com.
It would definitely streamline our process.
Well, it makes sense.
Yes.
But until you switch the body or the car cameras, you're still going to have that system to
little
then,
bit, yes,
to then
correct.
import in.
Sure.
So, okay. I'll just make sure I'm understanding that. So this isn't a one and done, and now we have new body cameras and new car cameras. So I think that's why I appreciated the line of questioning there, because I
Sure.
think that's where that was coming out. But that's where I was just kind of scratching my head a little bit, because I thought maybe there would be some more discussion, even though we're not buying them right now, but some more discussion about the car cameras.
Sure.
So if that can be forthcoming, either soon or once we actually start buying them, then I think that would be very helpful.
I will make sure I get you that information.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. My only question to you, well, I always start with that. It's my only question for now, for sure, right? Is, do we have any opportunities for grants or applications to programs that would help pay for what we haven't talked money yet, what's going to be, a large amount of money?
There are grants for body-worn cameras, but generally, from the ones that I've seen, are for agencies that don't have an existing program already in place. So most of the money that's funded or provided is for cities, smaller departments to initiate a body-worn camera system.
And just to be clear, it's not strictly a grant program, but the SLESA funding, which is the Supplemental Law Enforcement, but I don't remember what the SA stands for, but it's a state program that provides funding each year to cities to be used for things like this. And the proposal, which is on your agenda tonight to approve, is to use the 2021 and the 22-23 SLESA funding. So it's not strictly a grant, but it's like a grant in that it's not local general fund money. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much. So do we have any members of the public who would like to speak on this? Christina, do we have any members of the public who would like to speak?
Mayor, I did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. I see none, Mayor.
Thank you so very much. So this, again, was for presentation only, no form or action, but we will talk to you later. Item number C is the 2025 Fireworks Enforcement and Response Activities Update. City Manager, do we have a staff report, please?
Thank you. Deputy Chief Sanchez is going to present this item. His data will show, and it corresponds with what we heard from the public, that things were better this year. And we hope that's a trend that's going to continue into the future. The chief will provide you with an update, which also includes information from the fire department.
Thank you, City Manager, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. I am here to present on this past 4th of July weekend, a fireworks recap for both the fire department and the police department. As you're aware, just some background, during the 4th of July weekend, which for us is July 3rd through the 5th, so we take the day before 4th of July and the day after, the Cathedral City Police Department augmented regularly scheduled patrol shifts with supplemental officers to address the ongoing challenge of illegal fireworks activity. The possession and discharge of aerial and explosive fireworks remain prohibited within the city limits, yet they continue to generate numerous complaints and safety concerns annually. As you're aware, we did away with the Safe and Sane fireworks back in 2020 due to some of the complaints we received, from elderly individuals that had also they created a problem for pets and animals, or individuals with PTSD or other mental wellness issues. So in coordination with code enforcement and the fire department, the police department deployed additional personnel to focus on proactive enforcement, reduce firework-related activity, and address violations where appropriate. So this began with the community education. So the public education campaigns were launched in June using local TV stations, social media, and signage posted on fire engines and patrol vehicles to raise awareness and discourage illegal fireworks use. As you see, Chief Contreras also gave an on-camera interview, and directly behind him you can see some of the signage that was posted on our fire engines. The code compliance there, you can see in the back window, the signage as well. And then there underneath where the Sunbus seating is, we also posted how fireworks were illegal in the city. So we were just trying to educate the residents and members here of the community how they were not allowed in the city of Cathedral City. So for July 3rd through the 5th, the deployment for the police department consisted of, on Thursday, the July 3rd, we had 6 officers deployed for patrol, and then 2 officers conducted fireworks enforcement. So this is a day before 4th of July, which typically they'll start. If they see us out there enforcing it, then hopefully it caps it. So then on Friday, the day of 4th of July, we had 6 officers deployed on patrol, and 3 officers, along with code compliance, conducted fireworks enforcement. So this was a first for us, but we thought it worked very well, having code enforcement out there with us. And then the day after, on Saturday, the July 5th, we had 6 officers deployed on patrol, and then 2 officers conducting fireworks enforcement. So we continued even the day afterwards. For the fire department, so the 4th of July fire call volume analysis from 2023 to 2025. So over the past 3 years, July 3rd through the 5th, Cathedral City Fire and EMS has consistently experienced elevated call volumes on the 4th of July, reflecting the increased community activity and associated risks typical of this holiday. Looking at the day before and the day after the 4th of July, the following analysis was done. So in 2023, CCFD responded to 142 calls, so that's for those 3 days, the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. Then in 2024, the department saw a noticeable uptick, responding to 155 calls, which was a 9% increase from the prior year. In 2025, so this past year, call volume slightly decreased to 139, representing a 10% decrease from the previous year and aligning closely with 2023 levels. The decline may be partially credited to enhanced public outreach, prevention efforts, and stricter enforcement of firework regulations. For the police department, our calls for service from July 3rd through the 5th, we deployed 2 additional officers per night shift. And on July 4th specifically, 9 officers were assigned to patrol duties, with an additional 3 officers working alongside code enforcement to address firework violations. Dispatch was staffed with 3 dispatchers and 1 supervisor to handle the anticipated increase in call volume. So the call volume that the police department experienced were the total calls for service from July 3rd through the 5th were 546 calls, and of those 546, 77 were related to fireworks. So we did a year-to-year comparison from 2024 to 2025. So in 2024, the calls for service were 118, where this past year we had 194. So it was an increase for us. The fireworks call in 2024 were 74 compared to 55 this year. So we saw a decrease in our fireworks calls. Citations issued in 2024 were 3. In 2025, we issued 7. In 2024, we had 4 arrests compared to 5 made this past year. While total calls for service increased this year compared to the previous year, there was a decrease in fireworks-related calls, which may suggest that proactive enforcement and public education efforts contributed to the deterrence. Also, notably, the holiday fell on a Friday this year versus a Thursday in 2024, and Fridays historically tend to have a higher volume of calls for service. You know, there's more people out and about on Fridays, people get paid, and there's more activities for them to do. So even on any other typical Friday, we see an increase in call volume. For the fire department, the single day, the call volume for July 4th, the comparison. So in 2023, they received 26 calls for service. In 2024, they had 25 calls for service, and this past year, they had 18 calls for service. So they have seen a decline. So some of the observations made were in 2023 compared to 2024, 26 calls for service, which is a 1 call decrease, which is a decrease of 3.8%. In 2024 compared to 2025, there was 25 calls for service, which is a 7 call decrease, and also 28%. So the June comparison, we just wanted to give you a month-to-month comparison. For June 1st through the 30th of 2025, there was a total of 4,056 total calls for service, and of those, 12 were related to fireworks. In June 1st through the 30th of 2024, there was a total of 4,274 calls for service, and of those, 31 were related to fireworks. So as you can see, from year to year, the fireworks calls have declined. These are some of the images of the fireworks that were confiscated by law enforcement while doing the proactive enforcement out in the streets and responding to some of the calls for service that the residents were calling in. So the total arrests and citations from July 3rd, 2025 through July 5th of 2025, 5 adults were arrested for violating Health and Safety Code 12,700, subsection B, subsection 1, which is possession of fireworks, a misdemeanor, and were issued citations. And then 2 additional individuals received administrative citations for disruptive activities, and several fireworks were confiscated throughout the evening. Some future improvements for the police department. In 2026, we plan to utilize its first drone responder program to enhance the situational awareness and enforcement capabilities during high activity periods such as the 4th of July. I know Councilmember Gutierrez had brought that up previously. Next year, we do plan to have our DFR program up and running, and it seemed to work in other cities, so we hope to see the same results in our city. In 2026, the fire department will continue with the public outreach and education programs. And for code enforcement, they recommend adopting new language in 2026 to restore admin citations for fireworks, which was removed with the ordinance of 835. So I'm not sure if you're aware with that. When we removed that, we removed their administrative abilities to issue those citations, and they're looking to bring that back. With that, I will open up to any questions or discussion.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Cardona?
Thank you, Chief. Really appreciate that report. I'm kind of curious on the time of the calls. Is there a witching hour, so to speak? I mean, every 4th of July, I hear one go off at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, somebody's still up and out there. So is it right after sundown, or is there a peak hour when?
For us, it's throughout the evening. Obviously, it's when the daylight, in the evening hours when it's night, so they can view these aerial fireworks. But it's not like New Year's Eve where everyone's staying up till midnight, and then at midnight you hear the gunshots or the fireworks. It's just throughout the night. But in speaking to most of the residents, it appeared like that the educational part was big in the city, and more residents didn't really notice the fireworks as much as they had in years past. So I think just the educational portion of educating the residents that even Safe and Sane aren't allowed here, although they may be allowed in some other cities. they're not welcome here in Cathedral City.
So do you think it's like a 2-hour window when most of the calls come in, or is it just sporadic all night? Or
It's sporadic throughout the night. It
Okay.
probably starts at around 7 p.m. till about 9 to 10 p.m.
Okay, all right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your presentation. Now, in 2023, I did not keep an accurate number how many phone calls I received from residents regarding fireworks, legal fireworks. In 2024, I didn't keep records either, but in 2025, I didn't have to because I didn't receive any calls from any residents regarding fireworks. Even though there were quite a few illegal fireworks out there, I didn't receive any, which was good. Maybe because I gave them your telephone number.
Your home number.
There was a significant decrease, and like I said, with it being on a Friday, typically that's just a higher activity day for us, just in law enforcement in general, whether it's 4th of July or not. There's just more calls for service. So a lot of these calls for service are just typical things that we handle on a normal Friday. So the fireworks-related calls did decrease from 2024.
Well, I truly appreciate the effort that proactive effort that the police department, the fire department are doing, because I believe it is working. And I believe it's probably the second or third year since Cathedral City made fireworks illegal. So I believe that effort is working. And I already had I was already writing my notes down. What are we going to do about drones? We've been talking about it for quite a few years, so I was very happy to see that you will be implementing that, just like the city of Indio
Yes, sir.
did, and they were very successful in doing so. And I think once residents find out that somebody's out there watching them, I think they're going to actually be careful and not have any illegal fireworks.
Yes, sir.
So thank you. We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem?
So I just want to again express my thanks also to the police department for your efforts, the fire department, and to code enforcement for their efforts. I was encouraged when I saw that you actually had officers go together. Because besides the ability to work together that evening, that just continues to foster better relationships between the departments.
Yes, sir.
So I think that is extra good that happened. So thank you, everyone. And I just wanted to make sure, do we need to give any direction to have an ordinance come to us regarding the fireworks administrative citations, or is that something?
We're actually
that
working
already
on that,
in the
and
works?
it's going to come forward along with a package of several.
Yeah, I know we're working on a lot of things. I just want to make sure we didn't need to
Yes.
give the council nod, because I'm sure we would all concur that that needs to come back if that's something the department needs. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much for your time, for your efforts. I saw a real decrease from my home as well. And yeah, I heard a couple after midnight, but not many. And for me, where I live, it was a 50% decrease. So thanks so much for your efforts, for your services, and for your presentation. Hope you have a great night.
Thank you, John.
We're doing that next. I'm sorry, I should have asked, because there are questions from comments from the audience, but he
Mayor, I
has.
did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment, please raise your hand, and I see none.
Thank you so much. And then we have our strategic plan update. Do we have a staff report?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Ann Ambrose, Assistant City Manager, is going to present this item. In your packet was the complete update on all of the items that we're working on and the status of those related to the strategic plan. Her presentation will highlight some of the key areas. You can ask questions on things from her presentation or items that were in the report and not mentioned. All the departments are here to be able to help address those. Ann?
Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, good evening. So as we've promised, we periodically want to come back to the council to share with you our progress towards meeting the council's goals for our 5-year strategic plan. So as we know, and for the public, the council adopted this particular strategic plan in April of 2023, and it really has been our guiding document, giving us as staff what the council priorities are, and helping us as departments plan our activities and actions to achieve those goals, and then as we've gone through the budget process, budgeting to do those activities. The strategic plan is driven by the city's adopted values, vision, and mission. And we periodically do revise these as things have been completed and as new priorities come forward. And so we've spoken with the council about our goals and objectives, and there have been revisions to the plan in both 24 and 25. And just for sharing, again, how the values, vision, and mission guide the creation of the goals, and then with the specific objectives and actions coming out of that and measurements. And hopefully, as you've seen in our budget this year, that when we first adopted this, we were like heavy into the budget process, and so some of the outcomes had not been as prevalent, but I think we did a lot more with our outcome measures in our budget this year. And then just as a reminder of our 5 key goals. Goal A is serving the community with pride and dedication. Goal B, community investment. Goal C, fiscal stability and sustainability. Goal D, innovation. Goal E, safety. And Goal F, creating an embracing inclusive community. Last time we were before you was on January 25th of this year. We have, as I mentioned, our key accomplishments, objectives, and performance indicators were included in the adopted 25-26 and 26-27 budgets. And this presentation, we're going to start out with some key highlights of our accomplishments, but particularly related to the Measure W implementation, as that has been a very important driver in some of our activities going forward into this year. So as a reminder, neighborhood street improvements was one of the key areas of the planned utilization of funding under Measure W. And this is budgeting an additional $1 million annually dedicated to our neighborhood streets. And the projects scheduled for the first year, for this current fiscal year, include grinding and slurry seal of Panorama neighborhood streets, including Los Gatos, Durango, and Panama roads, and complete reconstruction of Corta and Alcida streets. And then for the future years, year 2 has planned improvements for slurry seal south of 30th and north of Vega, west of Date Palm, plus the Dream Homes neighborhood. Year 3, 27-28, will be also slurry seal in the Cove neighborhood south of Terrace. 28-29, Tortuga and Concepcion street reconstructions, and then in year 5, slurry seal in the Cove neighborhoods north of Terrace. And like in all capital projects, when these are ready for funding, it will come to the council for approval. Desert Recreation was the other key program under Measure W, and as you've heard earlier this evening, DRD is really hitting the ground running to be our park service provider. Even though we haven't completed going through the LAFCO process yet to formally annex into the district, DRD has been working, and we just are working under direct pay for the services that they're providing until the full annexation is complete. But they really are doing a great job in the maintenance and the programming. Cynthia has been really great to work with, as indicated with the event that they did at the park, the work that they're doing with recreation. And I think it was mentioned, it's a learning curve for all of us. For us as staff, we've not really had a recreation department. We've had Ryan and Adam. And as we talk to other community groups that we normally partner with, we have this recreation wing now that has services, and I mean, they have stuff like stages and PA systems and things like that we just don't have. And so I think it's a learning process that we're learning together, and it's been really exciting. Even as Cindy walked on, we were working on a grant application for an activation at Esperanza Park. And so it was really nice to have somebody who had programmatic experience to say, hey, this is our idea. And then she really ran with helping develop what that programming could look like. The other key area for Measure W was improved emergency medical response. And it's been really exciting that the goal of having a 4th ambulance staffed and rolled out by July 1st was absolutely achieved, with the rollout of Medic Unit 22 on July 1st, which is staffed by 6 new firefighter paramedic positions. Part of the improvement to emergency medical response is also implementing emergency medical dispatch. And we've been a little bit delayed in that due to vacancies existing within the police department for their dispatchers. And then just getting through the recruitment process for new dispatchers. We need a total of 12. We're close, but we're not quite there yet. But between HR and the police department, they're continuing to work on the recruitments to get that fully staffed. The dispatch side of this is general fund funded, and these positions were included as part of the budget.
And may I just ask a question? I just wondered, would that position be staffed here in City Hall, the additional dispatcher, or is that in a centralized location?
No, this would be all of their dispatchers would have the training to do the emergency medical dispatch. And so it will be out of the dispatch center where all of the rest of the dispatchers are.
Thanks.
And then, I was going to say, police, anyone? But yeah.
I don't know, Kevin's saying it's back there somewhere.
Yeah, no, they're all, whoever is working on dispatch, they will work out of the dispatch center.
Thanks.
Yeah. And then the activities that we're really excited to be working on right now is the work to develop a future community center. On July 9th, the council awarded the agreement with Group 4 Architecture, Research and Planning to conduct the feasibility study and to help us determine the best location for the new center. And this project kicked off on July 31st. We've already had numerous meetings with all of our internal team. We've had separate task meetings with our parks staff, as well as we had a meeting just before this council meeting with our planning team related to zoning, questions and things like that. We will be kicking off in September a variety of different community engagement activities, because trying to determine what goes into the center, we really need the community's input of what do you want to see here? What kind of activities, what kind of space? And so we will have, we'll be doing an online survey. It'll be both in English and Spanish, paper surveys, and also kiosks. So, it's kind of similar formatting in all three, but I, as a community member, will be able to look at boards that'll have, here are different kinds of activities I'd like. Maybe it's a gymnasium, maybe it's a theater, maybe it's just multi-use space for meetings, maybe it's, I want an event center to be able to do quinceañeras or something like that. They'll be able to put their dot on things that are important to them. Or we can look at it as what kind of spaces. I want a space that I can just hang out at. I want a space that I can do arts and crafts in. I want a space that I can recreate in. So we'll be collecting all of that kind of information. Additionally, we are putting together a list of various stakeholders to meet with. And that's organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, the Senior Center, and the schools, and a variety of other community organizations to, again, provide input. We have organizations like the Senior Center and the Boys and Girls Club who are actively providing similar programs. And so how can we look at space and needs to augment that or potentially be future partnership opportunities? So that's going to be, we're working to get those scheduled. And then Group 4 is going to be coming back on October 6th in study session with the council to, again, engage you in these discussions, talk about the priorities of and the criteria that we're proposing to use for making determinations about these facilities. And they'll help walk through the process of how they're going to be taking these ideas from the public and mapping them into space and mapping cost to that. But it's been going really well so far. And that project is anticipated to go through December. And then now I'd like to just go through our goals and just do a few highlights in each of the areas of activities that over this last reporting period staff have completed. And as Charlie said, any of the department heads are here, so if you have any specific questions about these or anything else that you've seen in the whole guide, please just tell me to shut up and we'll get you the right person. But goal A, serving the community with pride and dedication. This really is about us as a team, us as staff. How are we providing the training and services for our team to help serve the community better? So under professional development, we had 10 participants 10 participants complete the LCW consortium, with 2 completing the public sector employee relations certificate program. And this is really a skills development program to help employees understand, especially as supervisors or individual employees that want to become supervisors, what are all the skills and knowledge that you need to be a supervisor? You know, the leaves, discipline, performance review, coaching, all of that. And so it's been a well-participated program, and staff have to complete, I think it's 8 classes within 3 years in order to get certification. Our fire department has implemented academies for their firefighters, engineers, captains, and battalion chiefs, all internal. And the departments individually have been providing more opportunities as budget allows for department-specific training opportunities. It really is important that we have our department staff and our professional staff going out, being part of professional development, seeing what's happening currently in the various industries. And so it's been great to see the departments taking more advantage of that. We're continuing to implement the plan by ensuring department work plans align with the adopted plan. We've definitely done that through the budget and through weekly, our department head meeting, we talk about goals that we're working on, and then through our staff reports to assure that our activities are in alignment. Related to community investment, one of the actions was developing an entryway plan, and the City Council approved the Public Arts Commission recommendation for an entryway monument, and that monument sign is currently out for bid for the construction of a monument at East Palm Canyon Drive. So we'll wait to see how those quotes come back, and that will come back to the council for consideration. The design for the downtown dog park and pickleball courts, 100% plans have been received by staff and are currently under review. And then wayfinding signage. This is a project that Ryan has been working on, and finalized designs will be presented to the City Council in September, and just to kind of give you an update on where they're at, and then install is planned for November 1st. More under community investment, the implementation of the facilities master plan. Good many of the items, core items that were in that plan were completed in 2024 and 25, and the remaining 7 have been included in the 25-26 budget, including the update to our elevators that will be starting next week. The septic to sewer grant community outreach meeting on the Sarah Street assessment was held on July 30th, and there'll be an action item later on this evening to discuss more about that. And then completing planned flood control infrastructure projects. The Date Palm Drive reconstruction is included on tonight's agenda as well. Fiscal sustainability, procurement improvements was a goal that we've been working on. Hopefully you're seeing more of those improvements as you see the bi-monthly update from finance and from Patrick specifically in your weekly reports. We've created the contract tracker to better be able to identify our contracts, make sure that we're renewing them or going out to bid before they expire, and keeping those updated. And all of the departments have been working on that. City Clerk's Office and Finance have been really working together to, again, find the best efficiencies to manage contracts as well as the required insurance documents. And then one of the key goals that we've had of creating a private development and entitlement review system that is predictable, streamlined, and facilitative. EnerGov's implementation has really been the key to that. That programming is fully implemented, but as all systems, there's always tweaks and things you're doing to it. The fee update was one major milestone of changes that we've made since we've implemented. There was a lot of change in how our fees are calculated in this last fee update, which meant we had to reprogram things within the system so they calculated correctly. And Matthew from IT, Cindy from Finance, as well as all the departments worked really close to make sure that we are accurately capturing all our fees, that the workflows are working well, and again, that that's done all online. And then one thing that I don't know we've talked too much to the council about, but the building department has implemented a digital inspection program that allows for certain types of activities to be submitted online, along with photos of the work that was done, and so that they can get approval in a single step rather than having to wait for an inspector to come out. And so just other opportunities and activities that the departments have done to streamline and be more customer service oriented. Economic development has also been busy in helping with our local financial sustainability, as well as working with our industry groups. The auto industry is a group that our staff meet with on a regular basis, and staff have been working with the auto industry and an outside firm to do a SWOT analysis of how we can better, what are better ways that our region or our auto industry that's here can market better, can be stronger. And so staff are continuing to review that, and we'll bring that back to council at a future date. The exciting thing is the Ignite Economic Development Program that has launched this last week, I believe it was. This is a new partnership that the city has with the Coachella Valley Women's Business Center and Riverside County Office of Education to provide free bilingual business counseling every Thursday here at City Hall from 1 to 5 p.m. And then quarterly workshops. The first one being I Need Capital, Funding Strategies for Small Businesses. And staff have already had a great response with a number of people signing up for these activities. Goal D for innovation, the IT master plan. There were many initiatives budgeted in this upcoming budget, and most of them focusing on system security updates and governance policies. Implementation of technology to bolster operations. Some just quick examples. We have implemented the GIS sites for our capital improvement projects, development projects, and public art. And today it was just in our conversations with Group 4, they were asking, where do we have, building development going on or housing development, and we just sent them to the website because all of that activity is there that our GIS team and staff have created. Coming up, and you'll see an item on your next agenda in September on this, is our council upgrade. So fixing our screens that will be more high definition, fixing the audio system in here. This will put us out of the council chambers for a period of time, and when Jan comes back to council for award of contract in September, we'll talk to you about what the alternates are going to look like, how long this room is going to be down for, and where and how we're going to do council meetings and commission meetings until this is fixed again. And then lastly on this, just cones on alerts. This is another multi-department effort with IT, Public Works, and Communications to develop an updated strategy and ease for our public to find out about street closures and other impediments to their normal point of travel. Some quick things about public safety. Funding the 2-person medic unit. We've already talked about that. Utilizing technology, the Drone First Responder Program and Real-Time Operations Center. Our police department is actively working with Palm Springs to implement this program in our community. Earlier council meeting, the council approved the purchase of the 2 Drone First Responder drones that will be working with the Palm Springs program and will be operational in October of 2025. And then we did the speed survey and completed and implemented the recommendations of the survey to update speeds around, or traffic speed zones around the community and ensure that, that the police department can enforce in those areas. Our ability to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters has been another important priority in this strategic plan. And the fire department and the departments have provided input to an update of our emergency operations plan. We have, as the departments, have provided final input to that to Chief Contreras, and now we'll be working towards training and tabletop exercising plan before the end of this year. And our local hazard mitigation plan is also moving along. Staff have completed its internal review. It's been sent off to the Office of Emergency Services, and once they've completed the review and any revisions the staff have to do, it will move on to FEMA for their final review and then adoption. For our goal F, embracing inclusive community, development code update is one of the core projects under that, and that is well underway. There's been a lot of engagement with the City Council, Planning Commission, community open houses, to get initial input. The website was stood up. We've done community surveys and meetings and joint meetings with the Planning Commission and the City Council in May. And now the technical advisory committees are continuing to do the technical work to bring that forward. The zoning code update regarding residential parking and paving provisions was completed in January of 2025. So that is implemented and in place. Promoting additional community events and celebration. Ryan has been before you to talk about a lot of the different events that not only the city is doing, other partners that are coming in, and now we have this other great opportunity with the DRD. But just for the public, the expansion of our Taste and Sounds of Cathedral City with the fall series to complement the spring series. And the new partnership events that we have, Soul Springs Festival, which will be in February of next year, Sinfonica de Mineria, which is a free cultural festival with a Mexico City orchestra, that's January of this year. Continuing to do our autism awareness events, and then our signature events, including the 11th Annual Hot Air Balloon Festival, 10th Annual LGBT Plus Days, Taste of Jalisco, and moving that date to align with the Cinco de Mayo weekend. The fiscal impact of our activities, again, to the extent possible, these goals and objectives are being addressed through the adopted budgets in the departments. And this discussion aligns with our strategic plan goal of implementing the plan by ensuring our work programs and initiatives are regularly reviewed and progress and accomplishments reported to the City Council. And this item is for review and discussion, but staff are available if you have any questions or comments for us.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Carnevale? Councilmember Gutierrez?
Well, I have no questions, but just a comment to say that it is exciting as a council member to see that some of the council goals and the community goals are being accomplished. So it is really nice to see that they are coming to fruition. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No, there was no surprises. Thank you for this update, but even more importantly, thank you for your continued updates and work, in between these updates. So thank you.
I agree, and although we get the booklets and we get to read, it's always nice to share it with those who are watching in the community and hopefully who are sharing with their friends and neighbors as well. So thank you so much for your time. It really does grow.
Thank you.
Thanks. So do we have anybody from the public who would like to speak on this issue?
Mayor, I did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand.
Thanks so much.
I see none.
This is a presentation only. There is no form or action required, and we will now be adjourning into closed session. Thank you so much. We'll see you back in a bit.
And Mayor, I have to read the title to the
That's
items
your job.
before we recess. I'll be quick. We have 4 items tonight. We're going to start with a conference with legal counsel with regard to 1 item of anticipated litigation. And then we have 2 related items. One is a public employee appointment item and conference with labor negotiators. Those are combined. And then finally, we'll end up with a conference with legal counsel with regard to 1 item of existing litigation. I don't believe there's anybody in the public who has any comments on those. They could, if they wanted to, make a comment now. If not, we can recess into closed session. Thank you.
Of course.
We have none.
When we come back, if there's any comments then. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a bit.